So now what will happen is that we will try to understand assembly language. Assembly language is also a low level language. Assembly language is a symbolic language. So it is symbolic in nature. We know that it's easier for the user to memorize the symbols. So in this way what will happen, that the new language which is developed would be easier for the user as well. So now the instructions will not be needed to be translated in the form of zeros and ones. Instead, now the instructions will be needed to be translated in the form of symbols. We know that symbols are relatively easier for the users to remember. Now the property of this language is it is also machine friendly like the binary language, but it is user friendly as well. So as compared to the machine language, it is user friendly. It is not much user friendly, but as compared to machine language, it is user friendly. Now try to understand that. Now we will try to understand that how could a language be machine friendly and user friendly as well. So let's suppose we try to understand all these concepts with the help of an example. If we want to add two numbers, so what now we will be needing is that we will be first of all needing the first number, which would be stored somewhere in the permanent storage like our hard disk. So what will happen now is that there is a type of memory known as the register, and there is an actual language RTL. So whenever we want to perform some operation, like we want to perform addition, we want to perform multiplication or any such operation, now we need to transfer the data from the permanent memory, permanent storage to one of the registers which is there in the computer. So register is also a type of memory. So what now we will be needing for adding up two numbers, we will be needing two values, and first of all we will load the first value from some permanent storage, from some memory address of the permanent storage into the register R1, and we will be loading the second value to some other register R2. Now we will be adding up these two values and storing up these two values into another register known as R3. Actually there are instructions like the load instruction. So what load will do? Load will just load this value. Suppose there is an identifier which is having the first value. So load this LD is the load instruction. So this is equivalent for this particular task. So what this will do? This will just load this value into the register R1. Now similarly, the second value would be loaded to the register R2, and now there would be the add instruction. So add, now we can use this R3, R1 and R2. So now this add instruction will just add up the last two values, register values, and would store this value into the R3 register. Now we will be storing this value, store this value of the R3 into some location in the memory also. So there would be another instruction for the store. In this way we could add up two numbers. So this is machine friendly as well, because we are providing instructions to the machines. So we are providing instruction to the computer, and this is user friendly as well, because now we just need to provide these instructions, and these are relatively easier for us to remember. But now what will happen is that again we will be dealing with these instructions, and we will be needing to provide these instructions to the machine. So in this way, this is not much user friendly. This language is not much user friendly, because now also we have to provide so many instructions for just adding up two numbers. And in addition to this, we will be needing a software which is known as the assembler. So there is a software which is needed, which is known as the assembler. And what this assembler will do, this assembler will reside So this assembler is going to reside in between the computer and the user. So this assembler will be residing between the computer and the user. So now the user will provide instruction in assembly language. What assembler will do? It will translate this into binary. And now the computer will again provide instructions in the form of binary. And this assembler will again translate this binary instruction into the assembly language. So now again a user needs to learn this language, assembly language, and it needs to provide so many instructions in the assembly language to the computer. Although these instructions will be communicated to the assembler first, but there is too much of hard work still left for the user to be done. So now later on certain intermediate languages came into existence which were relatively easier for the user, and at the end few high level languages came into existence. So high level languages were relatively easier for the users as compared to this low level language and the intermediate level language. So the high level languages which you need to learn if you are a BTech student, or you are a student who is pursuing MCA or any computer related course, or in fact if you are in class 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th also, nowadays Java is there. So you must know that what are the different high level languages. So let's have a brief on high level languages. In short, we write HLL, like C is one of the high level language, C++ is there, Java is there. So these are the high level languages. These are relatively easier for the user to understand. They are user friendly, and you don't need to provide so many instructions for adding up numbers or any such task. You just need to provide comparatively very few instructions to the computer in the languages like this. Some of the books define C as an intermediate language, but most of the books define C as a high level language. So I believe that we would be considering C as a high level language. So actually this is not an issue. All we need to know is the concepts which are there in all these languages. So from the next topic, from the next lecture, we would be starting up with the Java programming language. So you know now that Java would be a language which is not directly understandable by the machine. So we will be needing certain softwares for that in order to translate the code that has been written in Java into the machine level language. So we will be discussing all those things, and the code which we will be writing. We will be understanding that how could we write code in the language known as Java.